when did all these lawmakers start dropping profanity so casually? Well, the numbers show it really ramped up in 2017. A government relations software company called GovPredict conducted a study on this topic and found that in 2016, lawmakers cursed on Twitter less than 200 times, but the next year it skyrocketed to more than 1,500 times, and the next year it was above 2,000. Look, I'm not trying to be prudish here. I ride the New York subways on a regular basis. I hear the language all the time. But more than anything, this increase in profanity, to me, speaks to a lack of ideas. Lawmakers these days don't seem to have anything original to say, so in order to get attention, it seems to me they try to speak louder and more profanely. In some cases, it's performative one-upsmanship. And also take note of who's usually dropping the biggest curse words. Tlaib, Omar, Trump. So often it's the extremists who are quickest to resort to this rhetoric. Cursing is the language of division. Darlene is right. It really is a sign of moral and ethical erosion. The people who we're counting on to fix this crisis of mass shootings and our other problems have to work with each other to do it. The Senate was referred to as the world's greatest deliberative body. No one wants to deliberate or collaborate with someone who's cursing at them. Joining us now is Ben Bergen. He's Associate Dean of the School of Social Sciences at the University of California, San Diego. He's written a book titled What the F? What Swearing Reveals About Our Language, Our Brains, and Ourselves. Ben, thanks so much for coming on the show. Appreciate it. All right, so what the heck is going on here?
Well, we know that politicians have sworn forever, right? If you've heard the Nixon tapes, you know exactly what happens behind closed doors. What's new is that at least since 2016 or 2017, politicians have started to swear out in public as well. And the numbers that you presented are very clear that this has been a very recent but very marked uptick.
But take me inside the psychology here. I mean, I gave a number of theories here. I think that there's some one-upsmanship, right? They want to get on the news. The media seems to gravitate towards the most outrageous people saying the most outrageous things. Why do you think lawmakers are resorting to this type of language more often now?
Well, let's talk about the physiology of swearing. When you hear profanity, your body reacts, and it reacts in a strong way. You release adrenaline. You start to sweat. Your heart rate increases. Blood pressure increases. Your pupils dilate. You are ready to fight or to flee. And that increased arousal of your body is exactly the kind of thing that a politician wants to evoke. You're now ready to pay attention to their message, to what they're saying, and you will hear much more clearly than you would otherwise what they're trying to communicate. Now, the consequences are not always positive, as you're pointing out. When you have focused attention and high emotional arousal, the direction that takes you, due to profanity, kind of depends on where you are starting out. So if you're speaking to people who are already ready to hear your message and believe that they belong to the same group as you do, then their reaction will be one of in-group positivity.
Right. Go for it. Thank you for saying that. We needed you to stick it to him, right?
Exactly. So this person is interpreted, and there's lots of evidence of this, that politicians who use profanity are interpreted by in-group members as being more truthful, as being more direct, and as being more honest. And out-group members will interpret them as being out of control, unhinged, overly emotional, and unable to follow social mores.
Wow, it's so interesting. And how do you think cable news hosts are influencing politicians? I mean, it does seem to me that the media rewards people on both sides who use this kind of salty language, in particular because we've got such a divided media now. Exactly what you're saying, right? If you're saying what they want to hear, oh, good for them. Oh, so. But if you're saying what you don't want to hear, how could they possibly ever speak this way? And then those of us who are somewhere in the middle who are saying, my goodness, both you guys cut it out.
Well, it's a way to attract attention. And as you said, media is very diverse right now. It's not like everyone's watching the same evening news.
Right.
And you need to attract eyeballs, and those eyeballs will open up regardless of whether they like or very strongly dislike what you're saying. So it is a means of drawing attention to a message for sure.
And I think the media is helping push this. I really do. You're not quite saying it. You're not quite going there with me. But I feel very strongly that the media is pushing this and I'm not blaming, it's not just the media's fault, it's these political leaders, because, by the way, many in the media do it. You know, I caught myself at one point on my radio show getting really emotional at one point. I used a BS word, and I thought to myself, how did I just say that? And I was sort of, you know, a little bit annoyed at myself for having used that word. But I do think that it is pushed in part by many in the media. I don't mean to have you here to do a psychological analysis with me. That's not why we invited you on the program. Ben Bergen, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.